My mom and I went on a long weekend road trip down to Sumter, South Carolina to watch my older brother Chance play college baseball. This is fairly unusual considering we normally travel the four of us, which is my sister and my dad, but this weekend is just us because volleyball and other activities for my little sister going on. But I had so much fun with my mom. About 3 hours into our trip, a little into West Virginia, we stopped for dinner at Burger King. Now, it is Friday and it is Lent, so that means no meat. So she got a fish sandwich and I tried out the Impossible Burger and it tasted exactly like meat. It was so good. I'm very skeptical with things like that and it was so good. It started to rain, but she was singing along to all of her favorite songs, and I love when she does that, when she sings. And then we were talking, and then the weather got absolutely terrible. The thunder, the lightning, the rain, we could barely see the road. Eventually, we stopped a little bit in North Carolina at the Speedway, went to the bathroom, and filled up on gas. I filled up the car because she was doing so much driving with the rain and everything. It was getting dark. It was kind of scary, so I wanted to do that little thing for her by filling it up. We got back on the road and the weather was so bad. We had our flashers on and had to go so slow into a slower lane. It was so bad, but we finally made it to Sumter, South Carolina. We got into the little town and my mom thought this clock was so pretty and it reminds me of Peter Pan. We finally got to our hotel. We checked into our original room, but it was on the first floor and it smelled like onions. It was a little dirty. So then we switched up to a fourth floor room and it was absolutely perfect and clean, which was a definite bonus. Here's a tiny room tour because we were so tired from driving about 9.5, if not longer, in the car, so we were ready to stretch out and go to bed. Our room is definitely spacious for the two of us, and it was perfect. The next morning, we woke up and decided to go down to the Continental Breakfast. This was the view right before the hotel. This is kind of what Sumter looks like. We got in the elevator, then went down to get breakfast. Here's kind of an overview of everything. I was having so much trouble using these tongs to scoop out my food, but it was pretty good. I mean, it was okay for a hotel breakfast. I got a piece of toast and it didn't fit in the toaster, so I stood here forever trying to flip it on both sides. But it worked out, and then once we had our food situated, I sat down with my mom, we talked, we watched the TV about animals that needed prosthetics, and it was so cute. Once we were done, we headed up to our hotel room and got ready for the day. I changed, braided my hair, brushed my teeth, and then I put a sweatshirt on. I also FaceTimed my dad. I talked to him every single day because he wasn't there. Then here's my fit of the day, like a fit check, and here's my pretty mom getting ready. She is always the most put together person I know. The raindrops on the ceiling of the car was so pretty, and then we had some time between now and when Chance played at 1, so we went to go see where his hotel was, and then there were some stores. We went to TJ Maxx, then we also went to Ross, and Ross had Peep gummies, and Peeps are my absolute favorite. After this, we went dress shopping because my mom really wants to get me a prom dress and find me one ASAP. So we found one. It was so pretty. I can't show you guys because it has to be top secret, but the color was amazing. Then we stopped to get lunch at Subway. We got one for my brother as well. And right next door, there was a plant store. And I absolutely love plants. I've never been in a plant store and it's so cool. And then there was this bird named Coco. And me and my mom have this inside thing that's kind of explicit, but we say a fucking bud in a British accent. We want a fucking bud. I also got a Medusa air plant. It was so cool and so pretty. Then we went to Riley Park. We packed up our stuff and headed into the park. In my opinion, it's a very nice park, and I do love the shade part of it. We sat there waiting for the game to start while they were warming up and doing their team meetings and just getting prepared to start the game. We did the national anthem, and then they played ball. I think I'm starting to get a hang of this whole baseball thing. I mean, you would think that since I've been around it for 18 years, literally 18 years of my life, I would understand it, but we're getting there. Then in between the games, I gave Chance a Subway, and then game 2 started. I love watching him play because this is his true passion in life and his entire dream, and I love seeing it make him so happy. The game's finished and we waited around till he's done to see what was going on, and then we headed to our car, went to our hotel for a hot second waiting for him to get showered and ready. Then we picked him up from his hotel and took him to a restaurant right by ours. It was super cute. The nachos and fries were good. My chicken sandwich was not too good, but it was okay. Then we walked around our little town, saw that clock again, and then took some pictures by the Sumter sign. We then did some shopping with him, and I saw this Hot Ones hat, and I love that show on YouTube. After a little bit of that, we took him back to his hotel, went back to ours, and I took the best shower ever. The water, it was so perfect. Then we watched the Kids' Nick Choice Awards. I definitely said that wrong. We went to bed, and the next morning we woke up, packed up the hotel, and got ready to go. My mom's suitcase is so cute. It's an Alice bin all over the world. Then we dropped off stuff to Chance that he forgot the night before. We got some Starbucks, headed over to Piggly Wiggly, got Chance a sub for his lunch in between games. They had these really cute mini brand almost Vaselines, and we got Piggly Wiggly playing cards. In between this and going to the game, we drove around and explored Sumter. Then we took pictures in front of the Riley Park sign because my first name's Riley and my mom's maiden name is Riley. When we got to the park and we watched for a bit, I decided that my airplane was kind of lonely in the car. I say half kidding, but it's kind of funny in my head. So I brought it in, and then I also went and got us lunch. My mom only likes ketchup on her hot dogs, and I like ketchup and mustard. There is nothing better than ballpark food, and you can't convince me otherwise. Now, I may be biased because I've kind of grew up on this, but it is so good. I gave my mom hers, and then we sat there eating our lunch, watching baseball. There's the Riley Park, and then between the first and second game, it got really cold once the sun moved. The games were over, and we waited for Chance to be done. Once he came over, we gave him his playing cards that we got from Piggly Wiggly for him, walked out with him, and we talked to him. He loaded the bus, and we said goodbye. He's the greatest older brother in this entire world, and I love seeing him play baseball. We watched his bus leave, but I know I'll see him next weekend, so... Before we left Sumter, we stopped at the plant store again to get my Mimi a air plant because this is something that she can't kill, and it's a good plant. We got on the road and we were talking and had so much fun, and I got hangry and I was starting to be mean, and I feel really bad about that. So Mom, if you see this, I am really sorry. We eventually stopped at Heartlands and I had so much fun sitting there with my mom. The food wasn't the greatest, but the Wisconsin cheese curds were amazing in my opinion. We got back on the road and I kind of had a panic attack and got in my head a bit, but my mom set me out as always because she's my best friend and knows how to do that. About 4.5 hours into the drive, about halfway from where we live, it was the perfect point to stop. My mom was getting tired and everyone was getting restless in the car. And when I say everyone, I mean me and my mom. Then here's an overview of our hotel room. I think it looks like a Tokyo hotel room. My mom says very IKEA, and she is spot on with that. We went to bed, and then the next morning we woke up and got hotel breakfast, and this was so cool. You wave your hand and it makes you pancakes. I really want one of these at my house, but the issue is I looked it up and they're about $4,000, so I'll stick with making them in the pan, but it was so cool. I definitely think that this breakfast was better than the other place, but that's just me. And then my mom got oatmeal or grits. I forget which one she got, but she really loves both of those. She also got a hot tea. She loves hot tea. I went to the fancy machine and picked out apple juice, which I love apple juice. Orange juice is good too, but apple juice it hits different. We had a nice breakfast together, then headed up, packed up our hotel room, and then right by the elevators, that's the view outside. It's right there by the highway. Then we got the car packed up again, got some gas in the car, and stopped at a Starbucks. I love this so much. I talked to my mom about the most random stuff and the most important stuff to me, and it was just so amazing. Then we stopped at this overlook that we've been here before, but it was so pretty. I wanted to go closer, but that was kind of blocked off. We both did. Then we went into the touristy area, and then we found rocking chairs and sat there. I love when she sees that I'm recording because she gets so excited. She is my biggest supporter when it comes to trying to make it as a content creator or literally anything I do in life. Then I grabbed all this stuff. We got back on the road, got Subway for lunch, and headed home. I have the best family ever, and I know I complain about baseball, but I love being a baseball sister.